This is your presenter, Isra Abu Dabbous. And I'm so glad to join me to this episode with my favorite drink, as always. I'll be with you and we will speak about a new topic while we are listening and you are listening to me. We will learn some new vocabulary related to this topic. By the way, for today, I have decided to get some caramel latte. Even though that I really don't enjoy it, at least I won't regret it in the far future. And now it's spring, so I won't be able to get some of the seasonable pumpkin spice before the next autumn. So what about you, dear listeners? What's your favorite drink at the moment? Is it a double shot espresso, a latte, a macchiato, or probably your regular Turkish coffee? Make sure to keep your drink close while we're having our new speak for today. So, let me ask you this question, everyone. Are you able to make a good discussion with your friends or with your family members? Do you know what makes a good discussion quality? And most importantly, are you able to express and convince your ideas for seniors? That's what I'm up to speak about today. The art of discussion. Let's get deeper a bit and see its facts, all of what will be in a short. So stay tuned. Before a while, I mentioned the word seniors, which is a synonym of elderly or old person. For example, I could say, it's not usually to make a peaceful discussion with a senior, and that's the fact. Well, let's now define the word discussion. Do you know what could it mean? I proposed this question to some of my friends, and here are some answers. This one came from Fatima. She says the dialogue that runs between members of people by raising a specific topic, whether if there is an agreement or disagreement from the speakers, which of course is the opposite of stubbornness. As for the another answer came from Muhammad, while he used the Arabian vocabulary basics when he said discussion is to review the talk and discussing it between two parties or more to present and address an intellectual, scientific, or knowledge issue with a style of equality and the absence of racism. The word parties, by the way, means a group, not necessarily to be a kind of ceremony. As for Rula, she says that it's a healthy conversation between two or more discussing a specific concern, no matter if there is agreement or not. Of course, with keeping a mutual respect for each member. The goal of this session either to reach a meeting point or persuasion point. And by the way, the word concern here is a synonym of the word topic, not necessarily to be the meaning of worries. The last answer came from Mahmoud, and he said, respecting others' opinion, no matter what are the differences between reviews, and make sure to have it in a civilized way. My deep thanks for the answers that you have presented by the four of you guys. So the answers that you've heard, dear listeners, represent the basic elements: a group gathering, a discussion, with an atmosphere of respect, and finally, to reach a conclusion or persuasion. Now, dear listeners, here's a question for you. Do you know if you are able to deal with good, healthy discussion or not? If you're not, how do you start? So, I've been thinking of the right answer for this question. So, I've made a little research to answer this. And I found this article, which I believe it would assist you, dear listeners, with the simplest message possible. And here's what I have found in a study by Center for Teaching. The process of a good discussion starts with 1. Focus. A discussion needs to stay on track rather than go wandering off on various tangents. Discussion should also be pitched at a level appropriate to the knowledge and background of the participation. Come to think of it, you wouldn't like to feel outfit and speak out of order, then you'd find everyone get shocked all sudden. By the way, when I said you feel outfit, doesn't mean that you are having your clothes on. In this one, I mean that you feel you're out of the group. As for talking out of order, in this content, this means that speak something that is out of the topic. Number 2 of the processes is you need clarity. You have to show your ideas and to understand them very well. Statements made during the course of a discussion should be readily understood by all participants. Examples should be provided when necessary to clarify concepts and ideas. I mean, for example, you can't speak with simple minds using the language of deep science and vice versa, right? That would make it futile. And not forgetting to help the participants with an example to ease your point if it's necessary, and to give another point of view about it to make your point rich with value and interest for others. Before I forget, I mentioned a word which is futile, and it equals the meaning of definitely useless. Number 3 is validity. In another meaning, the quality of being logical. Statements should be well supported and explained so that the basis of the statement becomes clear. Simply declaring something to be so does not help the course of discussion. Number 4, of course, you would not be in a discussion without being interested. So this is the process number 4, the interest. No talk without feeling the worthy and attention for it, right? Discussion need to be stimulating enough. Stimulating, like when I say exciting, interesting, to maintain the interest of all members of the group. It helps if the issues being addressed are seen as relevant to the interest of those in the discussion. If I put my own consider of something interesting to speak of with my friends, it possibly could be related to training and its multiple methods or the struggles of youth people, and so on. What about you, dear listeners? What topic you enjoy discussing with your friends and family? As for number 5 of the process is progression. A discussion should provide a sense of movement, if not toward some specific conclusion or concession, at least toward a deeper understanding of the issue and their complexity. And you wouldn't be in a discussion without participation, right? A goal of discussion is to have everyone involved in participating in the discussion. It should not be dominated by just few participants. Side conversations tend to be distracting and should be avoided. And also, pattern, meaning an arranged discussion. The pattern of interaction within the group should be group-centered rather than leader-centered. Members of the group need to learn to discuss the issue among themselves, not with the group leader, the judge of the appropriateness and corrections. Last but not least, which is the pattern, meaning an arranged discussion. The pattern of interaction within the group should be group-centered rather than leader-centered. Members of the group need to learn to discuss the issue among themselves, not with the group leader alone. And that would be the last point, my dear friends. Okay, let's have a fast reminder of the words we've mentioned in today's episode. Seniors, which is a synonym of elderly or old person. Parties, by the way, means a group in this topic. And the word concern, a synonym of the word topic, which means it's not only mean worries. Outfit means that you feel you're out of the group, talking out of the order. In this content we've mentioned, it means to speak something that is out of the topic, futile, and it equals the meaning of definitely useless. Validity with the clearance, the quality of being logical. Galileo Galilei, the bright scientist, says, I think that in the discussion of natural problems, we ought to begin not with the scriptures, but with experiments and demonstrations. Well, that's it for today's episode, everyone. Thanks, my dear listeners, for joining me while you're having your adorable, tasty drink between your hands. And don't forget that we'll have another part about discussion to know about the best strategies to deal with seniors if we'd like to make a discussion with them. I am sure it'll assist you sometime. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram, Coffee Talkie with Isra, or at CTJ_Jordan. And until I see you next time.